Alrighty, we are back. Falcons, Dallas, week 9. Let's talk about it. Right here, you're going to see kind of the motion creating more field for Darnell Mooney to work with on this deep out route. And he obviously runs this route really well. We've highlighted it in previous videos I've done where we just see that he's really good at kind of these corner routes and these deep out routes where he can kind of use his explosiveness and his quickness to really get corners turned around. And he's such a phenomenal route runner. So what I want to pay attention to right here is at the snap, we're going to send Drake in motion. And what this is going to do is this is going to force them to shift kind of inside. Now, this doesn't seem like a whole lot. Okay, yeah, we're shifting inside. But this corner right now is lined up outside the numbers. And if I had to bet coverage-wise, what they're doing here is this player has whoever releases inside. This player has whoever releases outside. They don't seem to be locked on the players based on how they play the motion. So my guess is this has whoever is inside and up. This guy has whoever is outside and up. That would be my guess on how Dallas is playing this. So what we do with this motion here is, as we're motioning here, we're creating more space and we're switching the matchup. So now 21's on Mooney and 2 here is on Drake London. But the biggest thing that I want to say is before the snap, this guy was over here. He was lined up, right about here. So just by motioning, we've created all this space that Darnell Mooney is going to be able to work with on his route. So right here, again, we're running an out route. We want to try to stack the receiver inside, which is what Mooney does here. Now the cornerback kind of overplays it. He's trying to get in front of Mooney. Mooney attacks his blind spot, and then he attacks his blind spot again. But again, look where he's breaking right now. He's breaking at the 40. So before the snap, this guy was already lined up over here. So we motion him. We motion Drake. We force the shift in the matchups. And then we're able to take advantage of kind of the excess space on the sideline with a really good route by Mooney. So, this is just one of the things motion is able to do for you. Create quick communication examples where, they have to shift when maybe they don't want to. And then as far as Mooney's concerned, he has extra sideline to work his route. He's not as stuck. This isn't as tight of an area of the field for him to work. So great job by him. Great job by Kirk delivering a really nice ball out there, but mostly just a phenomenal route by Mooney. All right, next one here, you're going to see us send Ray in motion, and you're going to see Dallas follow across the field. Now, this is not always a perfect indicator of man coverage. If defense was that easy, then, defenses would be giving up massive yards every play. But usually, when you send a man in motion and they're followed like that, it is an indicator. It's not a guarantee, but it is an indicator of man coverage. And right here, we get it in the best way we've talked about in previous videos. To attack man coverage is with what? Runaways, right? Run away from the defensive back covering your receiver. You naturally have leverage when you do this. So what you're going to see here is what I think is a really fun concept where we're essentially kind of running scissors here and kind of just coming up the field. And you're going to see Drake here, coming up here, working across, and we're going to pair it with Ray here on the go route, occupy this safety, kind of pull him out of the window, and then Bijan to the flat as well. So you have essentially 3 options here, though this go route by Ray is really just a clear out. So again, let's go ahead and watch it here. So scissors right here over the middle, they're crossing each other. Now this other advantage this does, right? It's essentially a middle of the field pick route. You can see 21 hesitates because he's worried this guy is going to be coming all the way screaming across. And, he doesn't want to get ran into, so he takes him an extra step. And then at this point, we are wide open, easy throw for Kirk Cousins, easy use of the motion to identify man coverage. Guess what? If you know they have man with one deep safety and you have a clear out to one side of the field, then this window is going to be here. It's making it easy for your quarterback. He makes a great throw. Drake makes a great catch. Would love to see him stay on his feet and kind of get a little bit more yardage there. But overall, it's a great example of using motion as a pre-snap indicator to help your quarterback know where to go with the football. And that's all it is. Kirk sees that we have man coverage. He knows he has a clear out running to occupy the outside corner and the safety, and he knows he has a route going to that vacated area. So what does he do? He throws it. Offense, it's not that simple, but it can be, All right, I am in the minority of football fans, a very small minority, that enjoys a good screenplay. And right here, this is as easy and as good as it gets because we're going to send the motion man. We're going to see they're not following. We have the pre-snap indicator that we have the numbers we want for this screen. It is an easy pitch and catch to Bijan. I know fans, again, are not a big fan of screenplays, but I actually think we've done a pretty good job throwing screens when we have the numbers this season. That doesn't mean they always work out, but that's an execution error. That's not necessarily the play call itself being bad. So what do I say when we have numbers? So let's just count, right? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Okay, well, if this guy takes this guy, and this guy takes this guy, and, let's say Pitts takes this guy, and we send Bijan in motion, and they don't follow with this linebacker, or they don't peel somebody off, well, we have 3 blockers for 3 defenders, and we have Bijan in space. I'm no mathematician, but I like those numbers, and I like those odds. So right here, again, 1, 2, 3. And we have Bijan in space. This is the pre-snap indicator that you want to throw this screen. And, if they were to follow, again, we're talking about motion and everything. And what does motion do? And how do teams play against motion? So in the example here, if they would have followed with this linebacker with Bijan, this is not as good of a play because then Pitts probably picks up this guy, and you still have Mooney going here, and Ray's on this guy, but that leaves your safety kind of one-on-one with Bijan, and that's not necessarily the numbers you always want to play with. But when you can get odds like these, 3/3, that works for me. I like those numbers. So we do a good job here, get the ball to Bijan, do a good job holding up down the field with our blocks, and we get a really easy first down in the red zone. And when you get really easy first downs in the red zone, you usually score. I'm just going to be honest. You usually score touchdowns. So I love this play call. I love a good screen. I love the math. I love how, it's basically seeing what the defense is doing and just, having a built-in system to deal with it. So great call there. Now, if people aren't fans of screenplays, I can tell you people are fans of Mawson defensive backs, and that's exactly what Drake London does here. He's been phenomenal this year. I'm just going to say it. He's very clearly, in my eyes, the best receiver from his class. That's not an opinion I had coming into the year, so I'm not a biased fan. I genuinely think he's impressed me enough that I'm just like, okay, yeah, you're the best wide receiver from your class. I'll also say that we do a really good job just running a really easy pick route, man. And this is just one of those things that you're giving your guy an opportunity to make a play by giving him this pick route. So when I say pick route, basically we're using one of our receivers to kind of get in the way of this defensive back, and it's not much, but it gives Drake just enough room to kind of stack this. You have all this room for kind of the sideline throw. So we have the leverage we want. We're kind of throwing it back shoulder. We go up, we make a great grab on it. He does pretty good coverage, but when you have a guy out there that can win these jump balls, it is such a weapon. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend you should just throw fade balls in the end zone every time. However, it is just another tool in the arsenal, right? I do not think a fade ball is an optimal red zone play. I just don't. I don't want to see us spamming it. I don't want to see us running it all the time. However, it is a tool in the arsenal. And if you have a matchup you like, and if you can run a pick route, and you can create the leverage you want to create, then throw it. It doesn't have to be every time. It can be once every 3 games. It's just another tool in the bag to attack defenses in the red zone. And, Drake London does a great job here. It's phenomenal. We are about to appreciate another good screen calls. I don't care that fans hate screens. I love a good screen. Get the big guys out in space, block some motherfuckers, get upfield. We do a great job of it here, and I think we do a good job kind of identifying that, hey, Dallas's kind of secondary is lined up in a way that to me would suggest they are sending the house. So right here, they're sending damn near everybody, man. They're sending everybody. And they're also sending this linebacker. So what does that mean? It means we got one-on-one, 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 and then, this linebacker could be kind of green dogging where he's doing whatever Bijan does. So if Bijan were to release, he'd have Bijan. And then this player, I would assume has Pitts. So I would assume these two are kind of lined up. So that's what we see right here. And when you see this, there's no over-the-hole top, so the defense is stressed out about getting beat deep. So what's an easy way to counteract this? Well, an easy way to do it is act like we're going to get vertical, and then what we're going to do is come back to the ball, catch it here, and we're going to run a screen. And, you see how far back their defensive backs are playing. Again, off the snap right here. He is 10 yards away from you. At the very least, you should be getting 5 yards. But when you have numbers like this, you should get a first down, which is what we get here. So, again, great job there, blocking it up. I think we could have done a little bit of better job. But to me, that is the beauty of the screen call, right? You are just playing the math here. You're making the call. We don't think Dallas is going to bail out of this. We like the numbers we have. We think we can get in space, and we think we can block it up and get some yardage. So great job here. Love the screen call. Again, I think we've done a pretty good job with screens. I know the Mooney screens haven't necessarily worked out in prior games, but I think in general, when you look at our screen game, I think it's been pretty good. All right, right here we're going to have a flood concept that was going to be open. Dallas beats us in pass pro. They get a sack. It's a big fumble. We're not able to recover the football. It's a terrible play for us. It's a great play for Dallas. But we're going to talk about, pass pro-wise, what went wrong, and then in terms of, the play, what we were trying to do downfield and how it was going to be there. So first things first, we'll talk about the actual play. So we're coming out here kind of with this 3-by-1 nub formation with Pitts as the isolated kind of tight end on the backside in pass pro. And we're going to be running a flood concept. So when I say flood concept, what does that mean? Essentially, it means we're going to be attacking 3 parts of one side of the field. So you're going to have typically something deep, something short, and then you're going to have something kind of in between them in kind of that intermediate range, which in this case, you're going to see it kind of be this corner route that comes open. So again, you have intermediate, you have kind of the short area, and then you have that deep down the field shot that typically isn't there, but you still glance at it. Really, you're really looking for either the intermediate or the short typically, but you always want to verify that deep throw isn't open. So right here, again, you can see Kirk, he's looking over here. He doesn't really like the leverage he has for the out route. He could probably throw that, but he knows that he has better opportunities right here because he's breaking into this vacated area. This player, he is in an okay position to contest it. He's basically probably going to spin out of here and try to get upfield. But if Kirk puts that ball kind of in any sort of area over here, he has absolutely no shot to get it, and it would probably be a big play. Unfortunately, we get beat in pass pro. We'll talk about it from the end zone angle on why this doesn't work out. And really, I think it comes down to it's tough leaving your tight ends in pass protection against defensive ends and pass rushers. And I saw some people trying to blame Bijan. I don't think this is on Bijan. Could it be on Bijan? Sure. But Bijan is very clearly concerned with this player coming up and blitzing. And this player wisely peels off because he realizes there's no need for me to rush. Like, I'd rather, occupy the throwing window, occupy Bijan. He's looking to block. He's not looking to release. I'm just going to get into the middle of the field. And that unfortunately leaves Pitts kind of out to dry with outside leverage. He just gets beat along the end. Bijan is in position to help, and we get a big strip sack. So, unfortunate, it's just a good play by Dallas. I think you can try to overanalyze it, but at the end of the day, Dallas kind of got us. If Bijan was supposed to help out Pitts, they occupied Bijan with a fake blitz, and it left Pitts one-on-one, and he wasn't able to hold up. So, great job by Dallas. Luckily, we were able to win this game, so this isn't one of those plays you look back on and you kind of curse. But the deep down the field shot was going to be there on that corner out in the flood concept. We just got beat in pass pro. So what I want to emphasize with this one is just how much of a weapon it is to be able to get yards after the catch. We follow this up with the big 4th down play, which we're going to get into, that big touchdown throw to Mooney. But right here, none of this happens unless Kyle Pitts makes a great open field move. And, right here, Dallas is lined up like they want to heat us up, and then they're bailing out of it. And when they bail out of it, they leave all this vacated excess room. So again, right here, it looks like they're probably sending the house. They're going to bail out of it. Pitts is looking to chip, gets his little chip block, helps out Jake Matthews, releases at the flat. Down the field, nothing's really there. This player is getting depth with this corner route. So Kirk sees that. He's like, okay, you're getting depth. You're taking away the corner route. I'm going to get it to my check down and Pitts. It's a really easy read. It's a really easy throw. And Pitts in space right here. Hits a really good spin move. Gets around, gets upfield, gets out of bounds a couple yards short of the marker on, and then we bring up 4th down. And we're going to get into the 4th down play and what I love about that 4th down play, but it all is predicated on Kyle Pitts, who has been playing so much better in recent weeks. And credit to him, I haven't been the biggest fan of his, not in terms of like a mean way, just in terms of thinking, is he a top tight end in the league? I haven't necessarily thought that. But these past couple weeks, he's really been playing great. And he played great last week. He played great the week prior. This was a huge, huge play in a game. We really needed to win to kind of take control of the division. So great job, Kyle Pitts. He's been a better blocker, better receiver, better down the field, better after the catch. Just really improving in all facets of play. All right, man. Let's give Zach Robinson some props. This is as zero as it ever gets. This is as zero of a zero look as you will ever see. And we had the perfect play call, man. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I cannot overstate it, man. This is art. This is exactly how you need to punish teams when they think they can play zero against you. You say, do you think I'm a fucking chump? You say, I have the answers, man. So, when I say zero, it essentially means we are sending everybody, and we are playing man coverage on the outside. And what's a good indicator of this? You can kind of see the back. So, sometimes they'll present this and they drop somebody out. But what is kind of a usual indicator is like, are all these players lined up? Because usually, if this guy was lined up with this guy, but this guy was kind of playing a little bit back right here, I would assume that he's rotating out. And if he's rotating out, then we're probably dropping somebody out. But when you see a lineup like this, man, and you see the press coverage, so let's focus on this, man. They're also in press here. This is perfect. You got him, man. You can't throw this fast enough. So right here, what are we doing? We're running a beautiful pick route, man. Their whole job is to just occupy this section and force this inside leverage to get caught up right here, where he has no shot to keep up with Darnell Mooney, man. I love it. I cannot... Oh, man. Little one-legged hop from Kirk. He has all day. There is no one within the damn area code, man. Move out of town. Wow. I love that call. Nothing makes me angrier as a fan than when teams think they can call zero on you and you don't have an answer. And I get it. Like, I'm not trying to... You call zero. Like, I'm not saying you always have to have an answer. But it just feels so damn good when a team decides, hey, we don't think you got that dog in you. We're not going to have over-the-top safety help. We dare you to beat us. And then you do. It just makes me feel great. It gives me the warm and fuzzies, man. It really does. Phenomenal call from Zach Robinson. Phenomenal job from Kirk. Phenomenal job on the pick route, the execution, the play, the call, the celebration, throwing the ball into the stands. I heckin' love it, man. All right, I love this play call. And again, another banger from Zach Robinson. Right here, we're going to get Ray kind of leaking across the formation to the kind of vacated area of the field. We're essentially running kind of a dirty quads look with the running back releasing out. Kyle Pitts is kind of the one side receiver, kind of a 4x1. And we just do an awesome job here. I love it. Let's just draw it up real quick. So you're going to see Ray coming up here and kind of just coming across the formation. You're going to see Mooney coming up, kind of running this kind of corner out route. You're going to see Algier kind of releasing to the flat here. You're going to have Pitts coming up and kind of attacking into the end zone on a crosser. And then you're going to have kind of this kind of check down whip route, kind of inside move. I don't know what you want to call it. But essentially, you don't have to be a genius or some sort of fanatic to know that this action, let's just look right here. You don't have to be a genius to know that this action is meant to cause confusion, especially with Pitts kind of releasing back across. It's just a lot of traffic to sort out as a defense. And when you force defenses to communicate and make sure they're on the same page and not get mixed up, you get opportunities like this where you have players coming wide open across the field with nobody in the area because, again, you have so much attention to this side of the field. Like, no one's over here because everybody else is over here. Now, if you had a mobile quarterback, maybe Kirk cakes off. There's all sorts of reasons that Dallas is more comfortable doing this than other teams might be. At the end of the day, it's a phenomenal play call. It's attacking the vacated portion of the fields. It's forcing communication from the defense. I can't begin to tell you what the read is. If I had to guess, it's probably, something like Pitts into Ray would kind of be where I'm guessing they want to attack. Because those are kind of like the confusion players, that might get lost in the traffic. But either way, it's a great play call. I love it from Zach Robinson. I think it continues a trend of his where he's been calling better and better every week, and I think this was a great play call. All right, on this one, we're just going to talk about what a weapon it is to have guys able to get yards after the catch. And I also I really like the pass pro from Bijan here, holding up in the middle against the big boy. I know he doesn't do a great job doing it. but he also doesn't do nothing, right? He doesn't get completely thrown on his back and let this not be a good play. So, you can focus on Bijan here kind of getting moved up. I don't know fully why they do this. I don't necessarily know this is a matchup I would want, but Bijan does enough, gets his kind of head in there, able to do just enough to give Kirk time to hit this throw. And, when you're making this sort of read, what you're seeing pre-snap, if you're Kirk, is, okay, I've got one-on-one outside. This guy's playing way back. I'm just going to throw a quick out. We're lined up in my end zone. I don't want to take a safety. Let's just get some yards, man. And there's nothing wrong with this. I know fans don't love it, but there's nothing wrong with taking an underneath throw and hoping your guys make somebody miss. And when they make somebody miss like this, you get a really big play out of it. And I think that's something Kirk, to his credit, he's very decisive with what he wants to do. Even when I don't necessarily understand, his decision making or what he's doing, he is decisive. And I'd rather you be decisive and wrong than indecisive and right. So, if that makes sense, I'd rather you just be confident in what you're seeing, make confident throws, and be quick with the football. Because the moment you're indecisive, like, oh, should I not throw this? Oh man, okay, maybe you avoid an interception or something, but you're certainly not going to get those explosive plays because you're indecisive. I'd rather you be confident in what you're doing, make quick reads, make quick throws. As long as you're not turning the ball over, if you miss the occasional down the field throw, I can live with that. So long as you're consistently making quick decisions. So, all right, last one here. We're going to kind of focus on what I would call a missed read from Kirk that ends up turning into a phenomenal play to Bijan, who late into this one realizes, hey, I can just break inside and hold my quarterback out, and makes a great play out of it. But I think the intent of the play, they're kind of running a clear out go. Well, I say clear out. I think Kirk wants to throw the go route. I think he sticks on it a hair too long. He doesn't feel good about throwing over the middle, and then he hits Bijan on the check down. That's what I think happens. Now, we're also pairing it with a post route that's clearly meant to occupy the middle field players to open up kind of this in route. So I'm saying all these words. What does it mean? So what it means is we're going to have Ray coming up here on the go route. We're going to have Mooney coming up on the big post, taking it all the way across the field. You're going to have where I think the ball should go, right here, kind of on this in route, coming up and coming back across. And you're going to have where the ball actually goes, which is Bijan on this check down, who, again, this is the route. He's just going to the flat. But it gets so late into the down that he kind of he's just standing here and he decides to cut it back inside and he's able to take it upfield. So let's go ahead and break it down right here. So again, play action, off the snap. Kirk seems to be looking over here. To me, he's checking this go route, doesn't like it. At that point, I would assume his read is to come to the middle of the field right here, which looks to me like it's open. He does not like it for whatever reason. Maybe he feels the pressure. Maybe he just doesn't like the look. I don't know. Either way, he doesn't throw it. But here's where you see Bijan, late into the down. Oh, I have vacated space on the inside. Let's get back. And he does a great job. Kirk, pump fake. Deliver the ball quickly. Get it to your playmaker in space. Get upfield. So much space to work with. It's a great play from Bijan. Again, I think Kirk misses a read. So in that aspect, I think he does a poor job. Not throwing something that's open. You don't want to get in the habit of doing that. If you don't throw things that are open, it's a quick way to get in trouble. This isn't a criticism of Kirk. Again, I think he's played phenomenal these past 2 weeks. I'm just talking about this individual play, right? We're breaking down the tape. That means we're going to talk about even great players making mistakes. Patrick Mahomes makes mistakes. Peyton Manning made mistakes. So right here, Kirk makes a mistake, but he makes up for it, finding Bijan on the check down. Doesn't let a bad play, which is the missed read, turn into a disaster. Instead, it turns into a great play. So phenomenal job from Kirk. I think he has been playing awesome. I think his game versus Tampa was probably his best game of the year. Not the 500-yard one, which is funny to say, but rather the one prior to this Dallas game. I thought he played amazing. I thought he came out here and really executed what Zach Robinson called. I will probably give more credit to Zach Robinson in the defense this game than anything, but I think Kirk went out there and also played amazing. So in all facets of the game, we did a great job. We really took control of the division in this one. Super fun to watch. Great game to debut. My new mic. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better to everybody listening. I decided I'm doing this frequently enough. I should probably get something a little bit better than what I had. So that's all I got. Great game. Super excited going forward. 6-3, top of the division. It's a great place to be.